the ACC Regular Season champion, Syracuse Run Rules, the Seminoles. What was your reaction to that game? Ears under the visor or show 'em?
Oh my gosh, under the visor.
Show 'em.
No.
Show them ears. So the question that a lot of folks are asking is what is going to happen next year with Softball Speakeasy podcast? And the answer is it's Softball Speakeasy episode 14.
Wow.
Presented by the Softball Sanctuary. Use code SPEAKEASY for 10% off all of their training programs and products at the softballsanctuary.com. Code SPEAKEASY, 10% off at the softballsanctuary.com. And they sent us these hats.
Check these
Look
bad
how
boys
sick
out.
these are. But of course, if you're new here, my name is Raine Wilson, and I'm a former Duke softball player turned analyst and broadcaster.
And my name is Kelly Torres, a current catcher on the Duke softball team.
Softball Speakeasy is a podcast that'll be giving you next level access to Duke's 2024 campaign. We'll be following storylines throughout the college softball season, and we'll aim to give you a behind the scenes look at what it takes to play softball at the Division I level. 3 in a row. We're in person.
Woo, woo.
And we're loving it. And we're going to talk a little bit later on about the future of Softball Speakeasy and if we'll be in person more or less. We'll talk about that later on. But first, I have to congratulate the woman to my left, the ACC Regular Season champion,
Woo.
Kelly Torres. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Raine. It feels weird because it wasn't like a game we won to
Right.
win it. But thank you, Syracuse.
Thank you, Syracuse. You said it in last episode. Go Cuse, go Orange.
Yeah.
And boy, did they represent. Before we get into their series against Florida State, we have to show the ACC championship ring from 2021. Kelly is about to get another one of these babies for their regular season title of the ACC. First time in program history. I know it was a goal of yours or your team's since the very beginning of the season. So congratulations. And I know we've talked about it. Job's not done yet.
Job's not done. But it's nice to have a check mark on our first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how that came about, of course, Syracuse, we talked about it. They went off a really hot week last week against Virginia Tech. They won the series against Virginia Tech at Syracuse. They had to play Florida State, and if they beat them once, then you all would share the ACC regular season title with you all being the 1 seed because you won the head-to-head.
Yep. Co-champions.
Co-champions, which is like, it doesn't feel good.
No.
And even a lot of publications were tweeting, hey, Florida State gets a share of the ACC championship, Duke gets a share. And it's like, there's still game 3 to be played. So Syracuse versus Florida State, game 3, Syracuse Run Rules, the Seminoles. What was your reaction to that game?
Well, Run Rule is like, wow, that's not just a win. That's like, they dominated. And it's cool to see. We always talk about how the team you are in the beginning of the season isn't the team you finish as. And we played Syracuse for a series. And they've definitely grown. Their pitching has definitely, skyrocketed. So it's going to be fun and to see what they do in the tournament.
Yeah, and they will play game 1 on Wednesday at 1 p.m. So let's talk about the ACC tournament. We've been talking about it for weeks now. It's happening in Durham. It starts on this Wednesday. Actually just got a text from the group message for the alums. 22 of us will be there, which is so exciting.
It is.
We got T-shirts made. We're ready to go. We're going to
I know you guys are going to be right there in the front row.
We're going to be right there in the front row. And for folks who are wondering, hey, are we doing a live podcast? Are we doing something like that? We're trying to figure out some details about a potential time to meet and greet, hang out with everybody. And we will update you on our Instagram at SB Speakeasy or on the Facebook or on the X. So follow us there and you'll get all the updates there. But this tournament starts Wednesday, and it starts off with game 1, 9 seed versus the 8 seed, and then the 10 seed versus the 7 seed. So I'm going to read out the standings of the ACC going into the weekend, or the week, I should say. And it's not technically official, but based on the standings, Louisville and BC had to play one more game today, and that game is going on right now. So we don't know exactly the seeds at the bottom, because right now as it stands, BC is at the 7 seed, but that could change, or excuse me, the 8 seed, but that could change depending on if they won or lost against Louisville. So we'll give you what we think. This might change by tomorrow. So Duke, number 1 seed, baby. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Florida State at number 2, Virginia Tech at number 3, Clemson at 4, Virginia at 5, which we've talked about a lot, Georgia Tech at 6, North Carolina at 7, and then, like we talked about, 8, 9, and 10 can move a little bit depending on how they play today. Syracuse is done. I believe Notre Dame is done. So Boston College, Syracuse, and Notre Dame are at the 8, 9, 10. So 8 and 9 play tomorrow or on Wednesday, and then the 7 and the 10 play on Wednesday as well. And you all will get the winner of 8 and 9. So I want to ask you, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. We can skip that, or we can cut this. But let's say, if as it stands right now, the 9 seed versus the 8 seed, Syracuse versus Boston College, game 1, who do you have?
Syracuse.
Okay, I have Syracuse too. They're playing hot. They're hot right now. And then game 2, as it stands right now, Notre Dame versus UNC. Who you got? UNC. I'm gonna go with Notre Dame in that game.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just to shake it up. And then the quarterfinals happen on Thursday, and that's when old Kelly will be out there, 11 a.m. on Thursday. Get up early. We're gonna try to get a tailgating spot, everyone, and we're gonna enjoy that game. 11 a.m. Have our coffee, then go crazy. For the Blue Devils.
Put a little something in the coffee. Make it a little fun.
And we actually don't know if I mentioned this to you, but there was rumblings I potentially was going to call another conference tournament and miss this weekend, but ultimately talk to family and friends, of course. It's like, I'm going to be a fan this weekend, right? Like,
enjoy it with your friends. When do you ever see the alumni?
No, I know. They're never, not all of us are all back. It's when's the next time Duke's going to host. So I'm going to be a fan. I'm going to be rowdy. Typically, I'm trying not to be biased. I'm going to be biased this weekend. I'm going to be biased for the Devils. And so go Devils. And so you all will take on the winner of the 8 and 9 seed at 11. And then the 5 and 4 seed, which is Virginia and Clemson, will play after you. Who's your pick in that game?
That game, I think it can go either way. I wouldn't mind playing either team. Clemson, I like playing them always. Virginia, I want redemption. Ooh. So it's like, give me either.
It's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win for us.
And then the game after that is the winner of the 10 seed versus the 7 seed versus Florida State. So we don't know who's going to play in that game, so we won't even guess on what the result will be. And then game 6 will be Georgia Tech versus Virginia Tech. Who you got in that one?
Virginia Tech.
I'll take Virginia Tech as well. But Georgia Tech, hey, they can always swing it. It'll be interesting. Excited.
Like you said, anyone's game.
Anyone's game. And we're going to jump kind of far for a second here, because we did get one question on our Instagram about restaurants to go to in Durham. They're visiting for the tournament. Figure why don't we answer that right now? And so give me your top 3 Durham restaurant recomendaciones.
Okay, first one is Mezcalito.
Okay.
If you haven't been there, they have the best Mexican food in my opinion. Do you want to go?
Sure. Yeah. I would say, where is Mezcalito?
You know what? I'm not sure. It's right by my house.
Okay, so it's by Kelly's house. We won't put the address of Kelly's house out there, but
it's downtown, on like the edge of downtown, not like in downtown.
Right. Okay, Mezcalito. Everyone has Google. They can just look it up. I was just curious. If you want somewhere to walk from the stadium to, there is Juju's. If you know me, you're laughing probably because I'm obsessed with this place. It's like Asian fusion tapas style.
I've never been.
It's a little nice. Oh my gosh, you've got to go. It's so good. It's like a little bit nicer. Like you couldn't roll in. You could roll in with sweats. It's not a big deal. But definitely on a Saturday night, you probably need a reservation or sit at the bar. That's an awesome spot. I will likely be there probably for 3 meals during the tournament. That's a good spot. Juju's number 1.
Okay. I would also say if you're looking for something less, fancy, a little more casual, Alpaca.
Ooh.
Alpaca
Peruvian.
has awesome food.
Peruvian. It's really good. That's a solid one.
And that's right there on 9th Street, right
Yeah.
past the stadium.
Yeah, if you're coming to Durham, you've never been for the tournament, just remember 9th Street. It's like a couple blocks from the softball stadium. Ton of restaurants, shops.
Yeah.
Burger Bach is good.
If you want a sweet treat, Pincho Loco.
Yes, that's a great ice cream spot.
Yes.
Another one, I would say, nice dinner with friends, Local 22. Have you been there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
And then what's your third one?
Third one, I don't want to give another fancy one, but Angus Barn.
Ooh.
So
That's
good.
a bit of a drive away, though. But it's close.
So
I mean, it's not too far, but.
yeah. I mean, honestly, if you have the chance to go to Duke's
Oh,
food
yeah.
hall,
Oh
West
my
Union,
gosh.
it is really good. And you wouldn't think that a college would have such a good dining hall. I think it's like top in the country.
It is. I was just
It
telling
is
people
so
about this
good.
past weekend. West Union is bomb. They have, and the thing about West Union,
Everything.
they have everything. They
You
have
want
vegan,
Indian food.
sushi, Indian food,
Poke bowls,
steaks,
Mexican.
everything, and
They got
it's really
burgers.
good.
So good. So if you could go there, check it out. You can also check out the chapel, the campus. It's all, within walking distance.
And then I'd say my last one, close to the stadium, Heavenly Buffs.
Yes, can't
Heavenly
forget.
Buffalo.
It's quick.
Yep.
And
Yep,
it's good.
chicken, or what's it called? Wings.
Chicken wings?
Wings, yeah, wings. And then right across the street, if you need a spot, maybe there's a weather delay, you need to maybe get a beer or something. The Tavern is, of course,
Always.
sticky little bar, pool tables.
It's a dad bar,
It's a dad bar. It's a dad bar.
but it has a lot of memories.
Yeah, a ton of memories. You might see a lot of Duke parents there, actually, including, I don't know if my parents are coming. I know your parents are coming.
They'll be there.
Yeah, sweet. Well, you might see the Duke alums there, too,
Mm-hmm.
in between games. We'll see. So ACC tournament's coming up, and then right after that, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the championship game. Sunday is the selection show.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk and try to figure out if we want to do like a post-selection show live to just react.
Yeah.
That'll be crazy. And because, not only do you all find out where you're going, I won't know exactly that night, but the next day I'll find out where I'm going to call a regional. So there's a lot. This is going to be an exciting
Sunday's also
weekend.
graduation.
Oh my gosh. And you
Yeah.
get to walk too?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure how
Yeah.
it works, but it's 9 a.m. at the football field, and then my major is at 12 p.m.
Oh,
at
so
the
but you
chapel.
don't have anything that day?
No, other than the selection
Oh my
show.
God. Congratulations. That's so cool.
What a weekend. So we're going to win the championship on Saturday. We're going to go.
Knock on that wood right now. Thank you. All right.
I don't need a knock.
Okay,
We're
all
just
right.
putting it out there.
Okay. Yeah.
Then
I like
afterwards, we're going to, get a little party on. Woot woot. And then after that, I got graduation then selection show.
Yeah.
Like, what a great weekend planned.
That is, well, and it's funny because my senior class never walked one time, even because COVID during our senior year. And then the next year, even graduating from grad school, we were playing in Louisville on the day, which is whatever. But it's really cool that you get to do that because a lot of spring athletes don't get to walk because
No.
they're playing. So that's amazing. And hopefully it'll be, after you have to like kind of pry your eyes open on Sunday after the all night, whatever we do.
Well, hopefully, it just won't even end. It just
Yeah, we'll
rolls
just hang
into the
out and play
next
card
day.
games on Saturday
Exactly.
night, probably. I gotta ask you this, and this definitely might get cut, but so after we won the championship in 2021,
Oh.
and we drove back to Durham, and it was like a 10-hour drive, and we got back. What time? Do you remember what time we got back?
No, it was late,
Like
though.
11:30 p.m. maybe.
Yeah.
If that was probably later than that, probably midnight, and.
And we went straight to shooters.
No, we literally went to Sid Bowles' house.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I do remember it. I do.
No, so
And then we rewatched the game. What do softball players do after?
No, yeah, like we won the
rewatched the game?
championship. We drove back, and at first, the first hour in the bus, we were like so lit and like stoked and excited. But then, like 9 hours later, like our phones are dying. We're super tired.
And as a freshman, I was on the floor
Yeah,
of the bus because no one wanted to double up.
Oh, I didn't know
okay.
that. Oh, that stinks. But well, pay your dues.
It's a freshman
Freshman thing.
duties.
But yeah, then we got back and we were all like super tired. But we just won the freaking ACC championship. And so we're like driving around town yelling at, we just won. No one cared, like, except for us, but went to Sid Bowles' house, or Colin, I should say Colin's house. Shout out to Colin Friday. If you're listening, he hosted us, and we just sat in a circle and talked and laughed and enjoyed each other's company. It was awesome. It was awesome. Great memory. But hopefully the championship game is on like at like 1:00 on Saturday. So you all will hopefully have some time afterwards to decompress and enjoy yourselves. So yeah. But after that is the selection show on Sunday, where Duke will find out what seed they'll be hosting. And I'm curious, you're a big person in manifestation and meditation. Is there a number, like a seed number in your mind that you no matter how this week goes in the tournament, you just have a feeling like we're gonna be that number? Or is it you're just like, I don't know?
I think we're gonna be 6.
Okay. That's the number I was kind of thinking too.
Look at that.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think that's solid.
It is solid. We had a good season, 44 wins.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to still be, higher than 8.
Yeah.
And that's what you really want to be.
Let's get out of the weeds of the rankings of that stuff. And we talked about last week, we're normal people, and we figure why not play a little get to know us game about either or kind of scenarios. We're going to mix in some normal ones, but we're also going to mix in some softball ones. So, first one, coffee or tea, Kelly Torres?
Neither.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
I'm a tea girl. I'm a big tea. I like tea. Like green tea and a little honey in it.
It's nice.
Love it. Reading or audiobook?
Ooh, audiobook for like very long drives, but I enjoy reading.
Yeah, I'm going to go audiobook all the way. All the way. Audible is the best. And Spotify now, like with the premium, you can get on audiobooks too. But yeah, staycation or vacation? Vacation too for me. Where's your dream vacation spot?
I would love to go to Bora Bora one day.
Oh, okay. All right, sounds cool. I would say for me, we're trying to go this winter. Danny and I are gonna try to go to Vietnam, Korea, or Japan.
Lily and Julia went to Vietnam.
Yeah, for ACE. Yep.
They talk about their nom days.
Yeah, Lily is Lily Walker we're talking about, and then Julia Boyette, who's at Delaware crushing it right now.
Yeah, she is.
In the CAA. Hopefully they can win that tournament so that they can travel somewhere for an NCAA tournament. But yeah, so many places in the world to go to and to see. So I'd definitely go vacation. Morning person or night person?
Man, I think I'm also both. Like I like waking up super early, getting my day started, working out, but then I also like to hang out at night, watch movies, celebrate with some friends.
I'm the same way, and I think that like was drilled into me playing sports in college. It's like waking up really early and getting a lot done before people wake up. I like love that feeling.
Yeah, me too.
But also, I feel like at night I'm more energetic naturally. So
I definitely like do my schoolwork better at night as well.
That's interesting. I'm schoolwork in the morning. At night I'm a waste of time.
Oh really?
In terms of productivity for work and stuff, or just work in the mornings, I should say. Music or podcasts while you're driving?
Music.
Nice. I'd say podcast. I figured you were gonna say music.
Yeah.
That just yeah.
I mean, when I drive home, it's 12 hours. I would throw in some podcasts there, but if it's like a short drive, music's my go-to.
Yeah. Do you have a go-to podcast?
Go Softball Speakeasy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's all I listen to, actually. I just listen to us talk all the time. So we'll move on to the either ors of softball.
Okay.
Bow or no bow?
No bow.
I actually loved wearing a little bow. Like it was just like I don't really wear much color, don't paint my nails, but I would always especially in high school, I was also superstitious with it. Like we won with a bow, I would wear a bow, like whatever.
No, in travel ball I had this huge bow always.
Yeah. But or like ribbons depending on the, if there's a theme of the day or whatever. So okay, so we're like in the middle a little bit, but you're saying no bow. Jewelry or no jewelry?
Jewelry.
Yeah, me too. I just think it's silly that, like, I played my freshman year, we couldn't wear any jewelry, and I'm like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
we're grown adults here. Like, if my earring gets ripped out and I bleed, that's on me, bro. That's not on you. That's on me.
Also, what are the odds?
And literally,
In our
what are the
sport.
odds? Unless you're wearing hoops. Like, hoops, there's a little more likelihood. But, like,
But
literally
not
how? Even when you're, like, with your helmet on, like, how?
Mm-mm.
Like, I could
Unless
see.
I literally get hit in the ear with a ball.
That could hurt. But if you, or you take your mask off and it grabs something, but even then it'll just come out. It won't rip your earlobe.
Mm-mm.
And also, like, let us be free and rip our earlobes if we do, man. Anyway, ears under the visor or shown.
Oh my gosh, under the visor.
Show them.
No.
Show them ears, bro.
I hate that.
I just think it's weird. I just like, why am I going to take 5 seconds to tuck my ears in?
You don't. You just put it on with the ears already under. It's not like you're tucking it in.
Yeah, but you're tucking them in to put it on that way. Like, if you just put it on, or you do take yours, you like undo yours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I always kept mine.
I never wear my visor a lot though, because I'm always in a helmet.
Yeah, I love a visor, man.
Know. We had a scrimmage this past week, and I was playing first a little bit, and everyone was like, "I've never seen you in a visor before."
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
And honestly, I wish it were more popular to wear normally, because I'd wear visors all the time. Keeps the head cool, gets the frizzes out of the way. It's great. It's awesome. Last year when I was training for triathlon, I wore the Duke visor literally all the time, along with my pink Duke softball shirt, which old teammates, you guys know. So, which one do you prefer hitting? Change up or rise ball?
Change up.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, rise balls were tough. We were actually talking about this. We went to go watch NC State versus Pitt. You had a friend, Kat Rodriguez, who plays at Pitt. She's an awesome player. And so we were talking about getting pitched a certain way, and it's interesting. And we both came to the conclusion that it was the same way that got us out a lot. But we're not going to say, because Kelly still has some playing to do. So we're not going to reveal her scouting report of what gets her out easily, now that I think about it. So we'll move on. We'll move on?
Yeah, we'll move on.
Okay. Strikeout looking with the bases juiced, or an error to score a run?
Error to score a run.
Oof.
I am not going to strike out looking with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's
Unless,
tough.
How many outs? If I'm the first out, it'll be tough, but I trust the people behind.
Inning.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst feeling, literally, in the world.
That's the worst thing that you can do. End the inning with the strikeout looking with bases loaded.
Yeah, I don't even want to choose one. I don't think none of them feel good.
No.
None of them feel good, but they happen. They happen to the best of us, best of anyone. So don't sweat it. If you're someone who struck out with the bases loaded looking, don't do it again. It's probably a bad call.
Just swing the bat.
Just swing the bat. Just swing the bat. It's so easy. Also, one thing we talked about watching that game is Kelly was like, it just looks so easy from here.
It does. Watching the game in the stands, it's just like, hit the ball, man. Like, it looks so easy. But in the box, it's like, I don't know, you're focused on timing, you're focused on spin, you're focused on like your barrel path and your position, and like from the stands, it makes the game look very simple. And it kind of made me upset, because that's how fans now look at the game.
Totally. No, and I like, even on TV, I think TV even looks even easier, because you can see pitches that miss like right down the middle, or just like strikes that hit the corner inside that people take over and over. And you're like, why would you take that? But it's a great pitch. Yeah. That's why. Like, and it's also really hard to hit an inside pitch and keep it fair and all these things. And of course, you're thinking of all these things in your mind, and it's stressful. So fans, give them a break, right? Give them a break, please. So we're going to move on. Those are our either ors. Thanks for playing, everybody. And we're going to move on to our listener questions. So a couple listener questions here today, this week. One was typical travel day of Duke softball. Tell us.
So typical travel day, I can kind of take you through, like, we went to NC State last week. NC State's actually a little different. That's not typical. It's not typical at all.
NC State's 30 minutes away.
And we hit at our batting cages. Okay, so let's say we're going to FSU. Wake up in the morning. They usually have breakfast at the stadium or something. We've been getting Chick-fil-A a lot. So Chick-fil-A breakfast, we're eating, making sure everyone's packed up. Then we go walk up the hill. If you've ever been to our stadium, you'll see there's kind of like a hill. That's where the bus is. Pack up the bus, head to the airport, fly over to the Tallahassee, and then it depends. Usually we unpack and we're there the day before. So we have like a practice that day, dinner, team meeting, and like a nice stretch rollout time before going to bed. Then the next day is like we also have like a hitting practice before the game, and then go back, chill out, and then play the series that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Leave after the game Sunday, fly home, and go to classes on Monday.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And a lot of players will try to not have too many classes on Mondays in the spring. Yeah. Understanding, or they'll try to pack all their classes in on Mondays
so they can miss.
So they don't. Well,
oh wait,
no. So that later in the week when you miss class, it's not that big of a deal because you don't have as many. But try not morning classes on Mondays. I remember just being like, no.
Yeah, I had a 10:05, and I thought it was Pilates. It wasn't even like an actual class, but still a 10:05 when you're getting in at like 2 a.m. is tough.
It's tough. Yeah, and I think another thing for fans too that we can all remind ourselves: they're student athletes. They're students, and that is like, I don't know how it works at other schools. And I don't know how it works for football. I don't know how it works for basketball. Can't speak for them. But every other sport, there is no benefit, like, other than the fact that you can miss class because you're playing, and that's excused.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Also a note is that baseball and softball are the only sports that play, like, 4 to 6 games a week.
Yeah.
Like lacrosse, soccer, like, they play 1-2 max in a week. So our sport's also very demanding in time. Yeah.
And that's one topic that we should get into in a different episode and dig really deep in is, although people don't associate softball and baseball with being super physically demanding, especially Stephen A. Smith actually this week, I don't know if you saw on ESPN News, Stephen A. Smith talked about Mike Trout being injured, and he's like, why are you injured? All you do is, eat sunflower seeds. And that's a whole nother discussion that we will get into in a later date. But physically in the moment, softball players are not beating each other in at the line of scrimmage, but when you stand for 4 hours for 5 days a week, it's exhausting.
It is.
And it's not just standing either, obviously, but
and it's a very mental game,
right?
So it's like having to be locked in and like mentally focused takes a lot out of you as well.
And the failure piece, we'll get into it more and more on a different episode, but there's a lot there for sure. This one's really fun. I love this question that was sent in via our email at softballspeakeasy@gmail.com. If you didn't play softball, what sport would you play? And, or if it's not the same one, what sport do you think your physical abilities would lend you to be the very best at?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't say basketball or volleyball. The height is just not there for me. Trying to think. I think I have a very strong core, and if started early, I'd be a good gymnast. I think I could do those things, and it's a very risky sport, and I think I have the personality to just, like, go for it and throw my body in that way. But you need to start training when you're very young for that sport, so it's hard to say. I think I'd also be good at tennis just because of the swing path and, like, the constant, moving with your feet. What about you?
I would say I was always and strangely, very quick lateral movement. Like that one test we always did, I always felt really good with it. But I would say rugby for sure. I would love that, honestly. Or soccer, but I think softball is perfect for me. Like I'm happy I played softball. It worked out great. Loved it. For the most part. But I think if that didn't work out, if rugby was popular here in the US, I think I would have gravitated to that more so than softball.
I think weightlifting, if that was a sport, like an actual sport, I know it's in the Olympics, but it's an actual sport. But like you're not getting a scholarship to be on a weightlifting team.
You can,
well, I think I can also do
it's not as popular.
well in that. Yeah, because, like, it's by weight class.
Yeah.
I think I can move a lot of weight for, like, my height and size.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, weightlifting, gymnastics, soccer, potentially, rugby.
Tennis.
A lot of tennis. A lot of sports. Love to try it. One thing that I do now to, like, work out on days that, like, for example, I hurt my back recently. Moving the bench in a workout. That's how I heard it, which is hilarious. But so you talk to my doctor and, do low, impact stuff. So I go shoot hoops. So much fun. If you're interested, we can go after this.
Yeah.
But it's a good workout. It's a skill thing that I have to focus on. Like my shot was bad, really bad. It's still bad, don't get me wrong, but definitely inspired by Caitlin Clark to go shoot some hoops and, get your heart rate up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun. You can do it with people. It's not like a solo workout.
Yeah. And if you go by yourself, which I typically will go in the mornings, go shoot by myself, you rebound, you get a little heart rate up. It's great. It's awesome. I'm a huge fan of that. Mm-hmm. And our last question, which we talked about earlier, is what is going to happen next year with Softball Speakeasy podcast? And the answer is we don't know yet. We don't know what we're going to do. There's a lot of factors go into it. Kelly's figuring out what's the next step for her. If it makes sense in your life, we're going to do it again. And if it doesn't, we had a great time. And I'm sure you'll be a recurring guest if you decide not to come back to the show. And as it stands right now, we'll continue it no matter what next season. That could change. As for the summer, we're going to do the podcast into up until Duke's season ends and potentially, when the last out is called in college softball. Hopefully those two things are the same, but we'll likely recap that. The only hitch in the plan is that I will begin travel guiding starting in right after the regionals. So I won't be at the Super Regional. I won't be in Oklahoma City. So we won't likely do any in-person ones after the regionals. So sorry about that unless something crazy happens between now and then. So it'll be remote. It won't, it'll just be a little bit different, but we will still do these episodes and meet and talk through and give you all updates on the season and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But do you have anything to add for our people out there?
No. We'll just see where life takes us.
Yeah.
A lot's going to change within the next year. So I've had an amazing time doing this podcast this year, and I hope to continue it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll let it all shake out. And overarching, the game plan is to do it seasonally. So not going to do every single week for the rest of time. Likely going to be based on each season. We might do some episodes here and there, things like that. So we'll obviously keep you all updated. The best way to be updated is to follow us on Instagram, X, Twitter, or Facebook at SB Speakeasy. And then please submit your listener questions or any feedback, comments, concerns to softballspeakeasy@gmail.com. And thank you all so much for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. We will see you next week on the show.
Peace.